Greetings! In today's video, I'll be taking a look at a set of paints and a palette that were sent to me by Meeden. The set of paints is this set of 24 colors in 12 ml tubes. According to the package, these paints are premium watercolors with vibrant colors, rich pigment, excellent permanence, and are non-toxic. The packaging also lists the color on the back with a few mistakes in the name, which is a bit funny. The tubes are nicely sorted in a plastic tray, set in a cardboard base, and shrink wrapped. I was also sent an enameled metal palette. It came nicely packaged in a plastic bag in a cardboard box. The tin is nice and heavy and it comes with half pans. To fully test out the paints, I started pouring some in the pans, straight in the half pans in the tin. The tubes are sealed with plastic and you have to poke a hole in it with the back of the cap. The paints all came out really well and they were all of a very similar texture. After the mess I had with Mary's Chinese paints, this is the complete opposite. Not one tube of the Meeden paints had binder separation issues. Once I was done with all the colors, I set the palette to dry. While the palette was drying, I prepared a color chart on B cotton paper. The paints dried rather well and didn't shrink all that much. No color became unattached from the pan. After swatching two of the colors, I felt like these would benefit from being pre-wet, so I added a few drops of water to all the paints. They are a bit hard to re-wet, in the sense that not a lot of color comes off from just rubbing the paint cake with a wet brush. I'll expand on that later. All of the colors swatched with a very similar texture and opacity. It feels like these use all the same paint base, and then the color is added in from a very similar source. I haven't found as many pigment texture difference as I do when I make paints. Also, there's no pigment information available for these paints. It's a bit as if every color is equally smooth, but they are not quite as smooth if you use the colors very strongly. I noticed as my swatches dried that some colors were mottled in the part of the swatch where I used the most paint. This set features a nice selection of colors, even if some of the names are confusing. As an example, pale purple is a rather deep violet, and deep green is more of a muted turquoise. Another element of note is that all the colors have the same level of opacity to them, in that they are all somewhat opaque. They were all quite visible as a deposit on the black lines in my swatches. I proceeded to use the paints on a small drawing to see how they would work for an illustration. They mixed well, and the mottled texture is much less apparent if a color is used more diluted. The washes, even if small, were nice and smooth. I was also able to layer the colors, but I wouldn't put too many layers, as I feel that would start to bring back the mottled texture thing. From what I can tell, I think these have a ratio of binder to pigment that makes them less pigmented, so trying to get an intense, deep color implies ending up with too much binder, and that causes the mottled effect. I had the same issue with my Cotman half-pan paints. The tin in itself is pretty neat. It has a really nice weight and it closes well. It has a few flaws or assembly marks visible, but they are covered with paint. The enamel is generally nice and smooth. It's also pretty neat that it comes with pans. The most noteworthy element, perhaps, is that the paint doesn't bead on the mixing areas. They cleaned really well when it comes to washing the Meeden watercolors off, but I can't say if stronger pigments would stain it. And the last element of note would possibly be the price of these supplies, as they help put in context the characteristics I mentioned earlier. The paints retail for $9.99 US on Amazon. The tin retails for $29.99 US also on Amazon. My personal recommendation would be that the paints are great for beginners. At that price, $10, you get a lot of colors and they keep well. I know that I would have loved those if received as a gift when I was a kid. The tin is pretty neat and I'm looking forward to use it more. At $30, it sounds like a really good deal. I've not used it for long, but my first impression is very positive. What do you think? I know the paints have been reviewed by other artists here, so maybe you've seen more about them. Same for the tin. Would you consider getting any of these? Let me know in the comments below. Take care, bye bye.